Hello, everyone. Welcome to Key Radio Live. This is the first episode of a new beginning where the hosts have completely changed. If you've been on the previous Key Radio Live, you may remember that Hypa and Lucy have stepped down from working on these podcasts. So, in their place, I've basically taken the place as the main host, and today, along with me, I have my co-host Scout,
Hello, everyone.
and I also have Nari.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, yeah, it is basically a new gen. We're sorting things out. We're not really doing the best job right away, but we're gonna figure it out as we go along. We try
One step at a time. It's
one
it's a
step at a
team.
time.
It's very much a team effort now, but that just means we'll all find our ways to grow as it
Yeah.
goes on.
The recording won't know this, but we had to start late because literally right before the podcast began, we had audio issues that weren't here before, and I don't know why. So,
We will
if
get
the
used to
recording
it.
it's going great. It's going great. If the recording turns out scuffed, you know why. It's because technology hates me, and here as honored as I am to be the new host for Key Radio Live, I'm also the least technological savvy keykeeper on the entire team. So,
That just,
we're,
hey,
we're
it's
gonna
just a new
figure-
set of challenges.
It's a new barrier to overcome.
I'm way
Yes.
worse than you, so.
I doubt that, but yeah. So this is the episode that we had to do because of the last was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. God, I'm losing my sense of time. Yesterday on Friday, we got a huge stream with a bunch of news from Key themselves, and we're gonna have to do a lot of catch up because here since Key Radio Live and Key News has basically just been on hiatus since like almost a year, half a year at this point. It's been like since
Yeah,
Little Buster's book club.
that has been a while.
That was in
Actually.
summer. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was ages ago. But yeah, since then we've had a bunch of announcements and a bunch of things that happened. So we're just gonna have to go through them one at a time and sort of like play a bit of catch up to all of the things that have undergone with Key, because we have a lot to talk about. But the first thing I think we should talk about, which is not related to Key at all, or is related to Key, but it's related to us in the Keyverse, is
The
the Keyverse
giveaway.
4th anniversary giveaway. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so just a friendly reminder, the 4th anniversary giveaway is closing tomorrow night on Sunday in the evening, so get your entry in for the while you still can. The prompt is essentially to just tell the class your favorite year in Key and why it was your favorite year, all of your experiences, all your memories. It's completely random, so don't feel like it's a challenge to write something
Yeah.
that's like super deep.
If you want to write a monologue, you can, but you can just literally write some simple stuff, and you basically enter the giveaway that way. So
Yep, we're not going to be judging anything in quality. It's just like share your memories, because that's just what Key is about. It's just treasuring your memories, treasuring the people around you, and why you love the things you do. And whoever wins, you can check the details in the pin comment in the giveaway. So just a friendly reminder to take a look because it ends really soon, and obviously
Yeah,
we don't want you to miss out.
The
Yeah.
important thing is we just want to see your reasons known.
Yep.
Because it does mean a lot just being able to look through that channel and see everyone's little stories.
we
Yeah.
got so many entries, by the way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I've been just going through the giveaway channel whenever I had time. It's just seeing everyone's like stories is just so wholesome, and it makes me feel really warm inside. And this is like the exact kind of reason I love the Key community. It's just everyone has their own personal experiences, and everyone's just
Same.
so open. I'm so appreciative of the fact that we're all so open and personal with each other. It makes me really happy. But yeah, that's Key versus main announcement after the 4th
The-
anniversary, so that's ending soon, and obviously the other big thing in the server is that Key Relies back. So, but you know that already. You probably know that already. So yeah, let's start getting into the backlog. This is sort of like a mix of the major news that happened before Key Radio Live, which is mainly just one thing, but we'll talk about that later. And the last Key Live, the Key channel that aired on Friday, because that came with its own bunch of announcements. So uh, I have like a bit of a notepad for my own reference here. So the first thing we're gonna go through this of what's relatively minor to the more major news at the end. The first thing we have to talk about is the music lives. So we're getting some music in the near future. The first thing would be Kagitosai Live, which is basically going to be like an instrumental live by Orito during March. So Orito is like, if you don't know him, he's basically the mastermind behind Key Music.
He's he,
He is
he's
the
been
master,
there since the
yes.
beginning.
He has been there from the beginning. Like, without Orito, Key wouldn't exist in its current state. We literally owe this man like half of the music that we have. Period.
Yeah.
So
Even when he isn't the main composer, like everything he contributes just adds so much to the soundtrack.
yeah, like he's so important with this. So he's gonna be hosting his live on the March the 1st. So more details are on the Kagionsai like website. So if you want to take a look, there's like tickets for this performance. If you live in Japan, you can even visit it yourself. That's a big thing, and getting to see Orito live is it's probably one of the best artists you could have as a Key fan. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And despite all of that, that's just the second most exciting Key music related event coming in the near future, because even further, we are getting KSL World in May 2025, so Key Sounds label is coming back. And we're just gonna have it live, which is crazy.
Hype.
It's really hype, yeah. If you remember, like, in previous KSL Live, we had amazing things like, Kud's voice actress coming out in the puppy costume.
I was gonna say that.
On stage, that was legendary. Like, KSL Live is a wonderful event for any Key fan, and this one is not going to be any exception. There may even be an announcement. If I remember back, like, at one point, one of the ones that, like, Key Radio Live, the Kaginado one, was where they actually announced the Kaginado anime. So, maybe not, like, put a bunch of faith into saying that there will be an announcement, but it's worth attending these events because they're pretty big, and they involve a lot of singers and like actresses from various ends of Key. Like the visual for this one, we have Shiroha and Spika, Naga's two white-haired heroines who are absolutely gorgeous, and for like just some of the singers we're bringing on, we're having Ria. We're having Leah, of course. We're having Yurika.
Yeah, Leah is there, and we also got Eureka.
Yep, Suzuki Konomi herself, Shiroha. We got Yanagi Nagi, Mizutani Runa. We have a lot of people, and those are just like the main things that they're advertising for now. So, yeah, if you're interested in seeing the next KSL Live World, you definitely want to consider taking that look. And if you're in Japan, you might as well buy a ticket. Not that
Yeah, this
most of
sounds
us
like a
probably
really
will.
big one.
No, it's a huge event. Yeah, this is like something I don't remember the last time it happened. I but like it is just like a semi-regular thing, and it is very hyped to see like all these actresses on stage. It's like all I can words. You might want to point out, but it is a very exciting event, and I'm glad that we're still getting music announcements because that's such a big part of Key. Is just all the music. The OST is absolutely so important to any Key work. If you know, like all of the emotional moments live and die on the music hitting right, and
Yeah.
Key just knows how to make that music hit right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the music is like amazing, so you might want to see this if you can.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the music announcements. We got 2 stages, so people in March and May, you might want to start booking your tickets if you're interested. That's the main thing. So the other big thing right afterwards is this is a bit of a backlog. So whilst Key Radio Live was on a bit of its hiatus, we got a pretty major thing that happened in the English community for Key, and that would be the English launch of Heaven Burns Red. Now,
And here's where I say peace for
La
the
la la
next
la
20 minutes.
la la
yeah,
la
so
la.
Scout unfortunately hasn't been playing Heaven Burns Red, which is fair, even though you probably should one day.
But
One
I'm pretty
day.
much into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
these
me and
two have been
Nari-
taken over by it.
It's basically been because Heaven Burns Red is basically like one of the most consistent sources of key stories nowadays because it is a social game. It's a social game, so it's constantly getting updates, even in the JP version, even an English version, and the English version kind of just launched out of nowhere. Like it was to the point where we literally saw. We predicted it was coming because the account that was going to become the Heaven Burns Red account was like blacked out with the name on it. So we immediately went having like a theorize, like we went into theorize state thinking, hey, this might be the official English account after like, God, was it like 2 to 4 years of waiting? I feel like it was like 4 years, give or take. Because like the Japanese version, I think, was announced in 2018 for the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the real version, like the real launch, happened in 2020 with the 20th anniversary. But I could be wrong. My dates might be like a bit off. We didn't expect it to come out just out of nowhere, essentially, and it kind of just did. Like they just dropped it. They didn't really do a very good job at advertising it, at least compared to the JP version.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost fitting because when they announced it was coming here in English in the first place, it was like after such a long string of big announcements that like I was not even surprised to hear it.
Yeah, like we basically just got it like completely jumped out of nowhere, but and after that it was really just the social media just posting the individual characters one by one. I didn't see many advertisements or discussion about it, and then the launch happened. And one thing I will give them a huge amount of credit for is that they had this system with the friend code that basically meant if you spread it to your friends and your friends spread it to their friends, everyone gets rewards on both ends. I don't know if this is something that the JP version did. I assume it would be, but this was a very big incentive that I saw that got a lot of people trying the game out, and I think it's a really good play.
Yeah, got a bunch of rewards already.
Yeah, like everyone on both ends getting rewards for sharing the game is pretty much a surefire way to at least get people to give it a shot,
And
which
it's
I think is really important when it comes to a big game like this.
and it's not like a one-time bonus you get just by registering, but if you progress through the story, you keep getting all the rewards still.
Yeah. Like it is something that just straight up benefits you if you share the game and have other people share the experience with you.
Yeah.
And there were also a few YouTuber collabs. I did remember the JP version also doing the same thing with Japanese YouTubers. So it's nice to see that they are trying to do a bit of advertising on the and once the game actually launched, but there was just a bit of a lack of discussion on it before the launch. But now that it is out, basically everyone in key visual novel discussion has started playing this game nonstop.
Yeah, it
Like,
hasn't been the same since in there.
it really hasn't. Like, there's a reason that, as a joke, as we speak, like they've just renamed the key visual novel discussion to just HBR visual novel discussion, because that's what it is. Everyone's just been playing this game nonstop, and because it is a social game, because it get content as we go along, it's just never gonna end. It might just stay this way for the rest of time because, oh boy, when
I feel like HBR English going a bit way too fast with the content.
Yeah, that's
like,
where I was gonna get to. So there are two big elephants in the room when it comes to HBR, and the first of the two really is just the content. They dropped a lot of content, like just straight off the bat. Like with the JP version, they gave you a bit of time to like do each of the events. They do what you do with a normal gachas, like they release the events one at a time, they release the banners one at a time, and they release the big story chapters one at a time, and you do that over the few months, and eventually you get to the current state that we are in JP. That's how it normally is. And some English versions do that with their own games, and HBR absolutely did not. What HBR has decided to do is just basically take a few months worth of content and cram it all into a few weeks.
They
And
said,
Yeah.
"You want HBR? Here's your HBR."
here's
And
your HBR, here's a new backlog essentially. And I am still catching up because they have put all of these events just like in the perma shop, and they have put all of the content together, and they're still releasing more, and they're just
yeah.
not stopping. And it's like, well, I appreciate the amount of content, but I'm not getting any breathing
Now,
room here.
yeah, you
They
have
gave
to really know like this.
they gave everyone the experience of starting a gacha like 2 years in from the very start.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like that bad necessarily, but it is pretty bad, and it is like this kind of mentality is typically what happens when the developers intend to have the English version catch up to the Japanese version, so there's only like a difference of a few months, if any. Uh, I don't know if this was the best call, especially at this pace. It's something that can work. There are a few mobages, some like the Toho one that managed to pull it off. There are many others that haven't pulled it off, like the Modica Magica one. So we'll just have to see how it turns out for them. Uh, I think HBR should be in a relatively decent spot because Key's pretty big, and it was published by Yostar, who is also very familiar with mobages. So let's
is
just
actually-
hope for the best, really.
It is actually being advertised by big YouTubers as well.
Yeah, like I said,
Like,
after the launch, that's when we started getting the actual advertising.
yeah, it's like it's super weird though.
It's a decision, but at the same time, I kind of get the idea of where they're coming from. Is that there's no point advertising a game that's not out yet, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like they could have drummed up a bit more hype, but at least at this point, the hype is there, and at least in the key visual novel discussion channel, it is so active. Kevin Burnsred has basically overtaken the entirety of
The channel got renamed to
It got
HBR via
renamed, yeah.
discussion.
Yeah, basically, if you go in there, you can expect to see an HBR playthrough from someone, somewhere.
Yeah.
On the bright side, I mean, at least people will be able to keep busy until the next key VN
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out, whenever that'll be at this point.
Yeah, like I said, this is a social game, so this is basically endless content until game ends of service, but we won't know until the time comes, and obviously we're just chasing the Japanese version for now, but I say the content itself is really good. There is the other elephant in the room that I do need to talk a bit about, and that's the translation. So
We need to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about this.
Oh, the
Ooh.
translation.
So the translation, there's been a bit of discussion about it.
Okay.
Partially, I feel it's warranted. Partially, it isn't warranted. But essentially, the main theme of this translation that I'm getting the hang of is quality control. They could have used a bit more.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't necessarily have issues with the translation because I think it's
No.
pretty decent, but they could fix some of those mistakes. Like if you just speak simple Japanese, you will notice those, especially.
Yeah.
They really have trouble with the other effects and its consistencies
Ye-
that you will notice.
Yeah, like what Cold said, the issue isn't necessarily that the translation itself, it's more just like there's clearly multiple people working on the translation, and you can really tell that because different people speak differently depending on the scene, and the way they use like names and the way they use certain terms with certain characters and certain objects, certain cancers, they don't match up. And while I understand HBR is a massive game, so you're naturally going to have to get multiple translators, I
Yeah.
feel like there could have been a bit more coordination to at least have consistency. Because when you have characters using different terms in the same translation, it's pretty jarring. And there's also even, like,
Yeah.
localization in itself is a very controversial topic. It's not one I really want to talk about, but I do feel like it is pretty noticeable when the line is being spoken and it just straight up isn't what the translation
say.
says. It's a completely
Yeah.
different sentence. That like is a bit of an iffy thing, but even then, that's not the biggest problem. I would say the biggest problem is mainly just like the formatting. So this is something that has
Oh yeah. And they still haven't fixed those.
they still haven't really fixed those. So the big issue that a lot of people have quickly noticed is that some of the choices aren't actually like lined up to the correct choice. So if you make a choice, the dialogue that comes out following that is not the dialogue that you chose because they put it in the wrong one. And it's a bit annoying.
Yeah,
like,
that's an
obviously,
issue.
yeah, thankfully with it, when it comes to Heaven Burns Red, the choices aren't as important, and I feel like all the ones that are important are delivered in. It's mostly just like entertainment and flavor stuff, but it's still something that really needs to be, like, it's something you have to be aware about, and I do know that there's a bunch, like the staff behind them are very, they have like a survey and they have taken feedback, so as far as I'm aware of, they are working on fixing a lot of these things because the fandom has been vocal on the issues.
This is the perfect time to mention the Discord server, the official Discord server.
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
they have a channel to report all these issues. So if you find something, make sure you send them a feedback so they can potentially fix this.
Yeah, I don't blame any of the people behind this, perhaps, because like Heaven Burns Red is a massive game, and translating a social game is gonna be infinitely harder than translating a single visual novel, because a visual novel you can take a bit of time. With a social game, you're constantly, without fail, getting new and new content, and with Heaven Burns Red's production, I have a suspicion that with the rush production, they're also rushing their translators a bit.
Yeah,
so the translators
I wanted...
are probably suffering as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know, I haven't played HBR myself, so I can't say for myself, like, how serious the issues are, but as someone who has worked as quality control for the old canon patch that has only recently been, like, outdated by the Steam version, it is so much easier for things to slip through than people can think.
Yeah.
And
like,
that is a much shorter VN for one.
Yeah, like...
But it is also one that suffered from multiple translators, and good God, does it show it at times.
Yeah, like... Heaven Burns Red is like probably one of the biggest key IPs ever at this point, just because the social game nature demands the fact you're getting constant new content. So...
And these poor people working on it had deadlines. That's something to emphasize. They had deadlines. They did not have infinite time.
Yeah, like, the game between release and the JP release, it was 2 years, but at the exact same time, translating is really hard. It's really hard, like, and in the current industry, unfortunately, translators aren't always treated the best or not paid the best. So, I greatly appreciate the work that's been done, and I support the people on the project.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you're gonna report issues, like, please do it respectfully. Like, acknowledge that they exist, but also acknowledge they can be fixed, because it can be easy to, like, point out a thing when you're reading it and say, how could this get through? But I promise you, there are so many reasons and ways that some things,
Once you work
even
on a
small, could get through.
Once you work on a translation, it becomes a lot more harder. Trust me.
It is yeah,
Oh
my view has
boy.
changed
The-
so much
Thank you,
from
Scout,
that
for saying
experience.
that.
pretty much after like I started working on like visual novel projects with friends and like with people in this community, I've even realized, Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
this is messy. But yeah, I don't envy the people working on HBR. I do think that there is definitely work to be done. Like, I I am glad that we have the game, but at the same time, while I do emphasize with the people working on this, there has to be fixes because when the choices do not match what you're choosing, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean it only happened like for like 2 instances actually. So
I've had a bit more, but yeah, thankfully, the from what I'm able to see, the team is working on it. And another thing that needs to be worked on is the text boxes. When the text comes out of the text box, that is not a good sign. But at the same
yeah,
time, as someone who is working on a friend's project who is dealing with this exact issue and has not found a fix for it after like a year, yeah, I get it. I'm working on like a personal thing that's just like a hobby with my friend, and I hate buttons and I hate text boxes so much. Why do they do this?
speaking of buttons, currently HBR phone has like a glitch where the
Oh,
buttons
boy.
are misaligned. So like
boy.
yeah, and I happened to misclick many times and I skipped the scenes. Yeah.
Fun times.
So it's and they still haven't fixed it. But it's
It-
already being reported though.
It's been reported, so
Yeah.
I am on like the mind of both people in this case. I understand the work that goes into it and that's difficult. I don't envy the people, but there are some things I feel like need to be fixed and they need to be fixed fast cuz like
It's one of those.
it is sort of like a rewrite. It's kind of like a slightly well, not slightly less. Rewrite Plus was a mess. Can we talk about that? Rewrite,
Oh no.
like
I
if you remember, if
can't.
we think HBR's launch was problematic, it is like about half as problematic as Rewrite Plus is. Because Jesus, that one was bad.
Yeah, that was horrid.
That one was hilariously bad. So
But to me, the important thing is that there's both a willingness to be fixed and evidence that it is being
absolutely,
fixed.
yeah.
Because let's remember for a second the Great Shiori disaster.
Oh God, the great shooting disaster. Working on these games is such a fun thing. It's such a fun thing.
I have seen some fucked up things like in my time that like
Technology, and this comes from the person who is again the least tech savvy of all of us. So
let me dig out the absolute worst like bug I've seen in a visual novel myself, but you can keep going.
yeah. So with that out of the way, like the production issues out of the way, I do want to talk a bit about the story. So this has been the exposure to Heaven Burns Red for a lot of individuals for the English community. It's not mine. I have followed playthroughs up to a certain point but before I realized I should probably just wait for an English translation because I wanted the intended experience. I'm having a great time. Like, I'm having
Same.
an absolutely fantastic time, even with the notable issues with the English version, like aside, such as the incorrect choices and the incorrect text boxes. It hasn't affected my experience, and I'm still willing to call this one of the key grades, because, bruh, after all of the content that Maeda has gone through with the controversies regarding the anime original stuff, I'm so happy that he gets to just work on a project and for it to like be well received by people all around the world. Because like that
Yeah,
was the case for the
seriously.
JP version. Yeah.
So happy for Maida.
I'm so happy for Maeda. This is his passion project. This is his new baby. And you can feel it. This is like
Yeah.
he's back in his element now that he's part of a medium that lets him have the big story and big cast that he wants to be. And this is a soshage, so it's kind of perfect because the entire nature of soshage is to have endless content. So This
Yeah,
was basically
the
just like what Heaven Burns Red should have been, or me and language. This is
yeah,
what
those in podcast text get a load of this.
technology is such a wonderful thing. But yeah, I feel like this is what he wanted Angel Beats to be, but couldn't make because of the limitations of the visual novel budget and the way they have to sell it. With a social game, you can have endless content, you can have new character scenarios, you can update things as you go along. That is the point. So Maeda has been able to share his own story, and he's also brought in a few other guest writers. I'm not sure if we're able to like get a list of them, but from what I'm able to know is that a few characters and a few events have had their own stories to write from other
Oh,
creators.
there is a lot of writers in the list actually.
Yeah. And on my end, like from what I'm able to see is like each Heaven Burns Red chapter, like each Heaven Burns Red event, is like some of the best event work I've ever seen of any social game. Like the events all have weight and they are all character based, and you know why? Because it's key. It's key, and they always nail character writing. Like they get it.
Truly.
Like Key has always been about the people. They've always been about the personal stories of each of the individuals, and I think it's an absolute genius, stroke of genius for every event to just focus on a single character and have them develop a bit and tell their story to all of us. Because with a cast as big as HBR, there's a bunch of characters to go through, and I love this cast. Like, it's so big, I don't know everyone yet. I haven't read every event, and even though we've gotten a bunch of events on JP and on EN, there's still many, many characters to discover.
There are
'cause it's
so
still
many
ongoing.
girls. I'm like end up liking all of them that I happen to get to know.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So this is my first time playing HBR, and I'm actually having a pretty good time with it. I think it has, to me, it has very good comedy too, as well. The story is pretty good. I would say the dungeons feel very dragged. So like, that's a turn off for people. Like, I'm pretty sure Found stopped playing because the dungeons are pretty grindy though.
Maeda and his dungeon crawling again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah,
we've been
yeah,
playing Little
yeah.
Busters the entire time.
Maida's obsessions are bands, baseball, dungeon crawling, and making people cry. Yeah, HBR is
love
full
this,
of
man.
those.
HBR does have all of these. I will admit, I'm not as far as Nari and some other people in the community have been. I'm not fully caught up. I'm still working on it because I am so busy. But every time I boot up HBR, I have actually focus on the story, I have a good time. That's the great part about HBR, is that basically every time I'm in the need of a bit of a key kick that isn't gonna take me like 10 hours, or god forbid, be an entire visual, like an 80-hour visual novel, HBR is that game. Because every single event has its own story, and it's just a nice bit of like key to just nibble on. And despite that, it always feels like it's a complete package. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like, I have so many beloved characters that I've quickly grown to appreciate just from completing just the base story. And also, this is just a very subjective thing, but because comedy is subjective, but in my opinion, Heaven Burns Red is funny as hell. It is, I don't know, I might be kind of stupid because it is very much like, if you've seen a Tom Ska video, it's very much in the same vein as that kind of comedy, where it's just repeating the same joke again with a slightly different twist each time, and I love it. I don't know, for me it's like, that is so, like, I am the guy who sees the gag for the 5th time and I laugh again. So
Whoopsie gravy.
I think it's adorable. I love these characters. Ruka is like one of the funniest characters in the entire game. Or in the entire, like,
She is one of the best protagonists, actually. I'm like,
great.
yeah.
Like, I'm so glad we have Ruka because I feel like she satisfies both, like, pretty much all of the things that we've had from a lot of previous key protagonist that she has her own arc, she has her own importance, but she's also funny and entertaining and gets along with everyone. She's never like actively mean.
Yeah,
She's just a
the,
bit of a troll.
the, the social events are all funny to me, not gonna
I
lie.
love them.
Because Ruka is there.
Ruka adds to every single character while never having to, while also being able to take the spotlight on her own. She's a fantastic protagonist, and I feel like when you play Heaven Burns Red, you're gonna always have that one character that you fall in love with. Like I know me and Nari, you and I have become
Mari, I love Mari.
we've
And
become like I mean, I predicted I would always love Mari from launch, but I think one of the biggest surprises, especially for the English community, is Hisamechi.
oh yeah, Hisama is
She
top
got
3 for
so
me.
popular in the English version, like more popular than the Japanese version.
I love Hisame. Hisama is the best girl.
Hisame is one of the best girls, and I adore her. But it's like it's really nice to see because while Hisame does have fans, like the English community is actually where a lot of her popularity just suddenly exploded. And I've even seen a bit of fan art from Hisame, and I'm personally like I'm really happy for her because even playing this game myself, I've like played a bit of the events that I wasn't able to play back when I was still just watching the playthroughs, and I've grown to love her a lot. Like she is an absolute joy with that perfect amount of just the serious senpai who is mostly acting like a moe idiot, and that's just such a key thing that I
Is she
absolutely adore.
mentally unstable? that line made me chuckle in Inori.
Bro, I love the Inari event. That Inari is a character, and that's the big thing about Heaven Burns Red that like really goes to show that I love this game is that it can take a character I don't think I will like, such as Inori, such as Maruyama, who I didn't think I would like, and then I play their event, and by the end of the event, I'm a massive fan. That's the mark of a good game, is that it can, if it wants to, it can sell you on every single character, as long as it just tries.
Me with Satomi Kura.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and it's like,
Damn.
of course, I think one of the biggest things we have to mention, the other elephant in the room, is that Aoi has just become everyone's favorite girl.
Yeah, I would definitely
This is
best
like
girl.
the least surprising thing. She's also like one of the most popular characters in the JP version, and now all the English people get to know her and understand her greatness. And if you remember back in the day, I was always Warrior from day one. Like back when we were first getting these character designs, I predicted that she was going to be one of the best girls. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because I was right.
Vindication.
I have clairvoyance. I've also heard a few other characters that have really good events, such as Koju, that I haven't even read myself, but I am
I
very
really
much
need
looking
to
forward
get
to
to
once
it.
I get the time.
Koju is very cute.
Koju
I
is
really want to
adorable.
read her.
I hear from multiple people that her event is amazing, and I just can't wait to be able to fully sink my teeth into HBR because the content is never ending, but at the same time, despite the speed, it is just something I get to enjoy after a hard day of work, and God, I needed that. I needed a good light flavor of key after just a difficult day. So yeah, HBR's Indian version is out. If you haven't seen it, you can play it on both mobile and PC. That's another thing I completely forgot to mention, is that they dropped it on PC as well immediately.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can
It was
play it
already on
cross-platform.
Steam for a while.
It was on Steam, but that it wasn't actually on Steam on launch. It was on Steam, like I think during the first anniversary or something for the JP version. So it took a while. With the English version, it just came out right off the bat. And I personally am much in preference of the English version being on the PC right away, because I very much prefer reading my visual novels on the computer. Like, I can play HBO on the phone, it works, but I just prefer the PC with this one, man.
Yeah.
I prefer phone because PC is pretty slow for me actually.
They both have their advantages and disadvantages, but
With the
yeah.
phone, obviously, it's easier to just pick up and like do
Mhm.
whenever you
Yeah.
want. But
Yeah, for me, especially with a game like Heaven Burns Red, which basically just feels like a JRPG in the mobile game format and a mobile game budget, I'm good. I'm having a great time. But yeah, that's HBR. If you haven't played it, please do. It's free unless you want to put
There
money
is a lot
into
of
it.
content, so you basically never run out.
You'll
The,
never
the
run
main
out, and
main story is currently up until chapter 4, part 1, and we also have the current event, the Desert Island Survival story.
the Desert Island Survival Story event, which is very much an
Yeah,
event of all time. But you get a free Mari, so it's immediately a good event. Play the
yeah,
game, play the
yeah.
event for Mari.
Yeah, do it for Mari. She's best girl.
She's one of the best. Yeah, I fully agree. You get a free
I'll
Mari.
I'll
And she's absolutely
probably
cool.
sell my soul and start this thing myself one
One
of
Don't
these
day.
days.
don't sell your soul because you will stop playing VNs. My F read through is still
Yeah,
No,
that's
it
going very
pauses F
slowly.
read for HBR, but you know what? If there's one visual novel or one company that I will allow and to pause an F playthrough, it's Key. I can promise this. Okay, I think we talked about way more about HBO than we had to, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
we missed an entire launch, so that's fair. I'm glad we finally got to talk about HBR because this is such a big thing and it has basically just taken over Key. But let's move on to the other big news, which is the kinetic novels. Oh my god, we got so much news for the kinetic novels all at once, and some of it's really funny. Uh, so I want to talk about the things that aren't really directly related with Key right off the bat, but we kind of have to mention it just because it's related to visual arts. So
Sure.
yeah, visual arts has recently started making Connect novels a brand thing. It's not just Key anymore. They're just making they're working with independent creators to create kinetic novels of all kinds. And recently they dropped one called Holy Undead, an undateable lonely necromancer gets reincarnated as a saint and makes friends. So it
Well,
sounds
As you
like a
can tell,
generic
that's a
light novel.
very encouraging title.
It's very
Doesn't that all
encouraging.
sound like an isekai?
It basically does. Now, I'm not going to comment on the quality of this Connect novel because I admittedly have not caught up with it at all, and the premise itself doesn't really interest me either. But what I find extremely funny about it, and what I want to bring to note is its launch is absolutely hilarious. Now, the first thing I need to mention is that this kinetic novel has been treated better and worse than every other Key kinetic novel ever. And the reason I say this is that, well, except maybe Harmonia. Yeah, except Harmonia. But the reason I say this is that this kinetic novel, Holy Undead, launched with an English translation and like other language support immediately. Like we didn't have to wait for this one. It just came out. And I'm like, you do this with this one, but not with like Lunaria, not with Stella, not with Loopers. We had to wait for
But
those. We had to wait for the console versions, and then we get the PC versions later.
I just
What's going
I
on?
still
They
can't
knew where
believe Lunari did not get any like advertisement. It deserves it.
Yeah.
Visual arts just knew where the real audience was. They knew what everyone was actually waiting for. Let's stop
fa-
deluding ourselves.
The
Yeah,
fact
I
that
mean-
Typhoon does a better job at advertising
Oh,
really
God, I mean-
speaks volumes.
I mean, Time Moon. The way Time Moon does it is that they starve their fans for like a decade on end, just with no content, and then they drop it all in 1 year. That's their strategy. I mean, to be fair, it works.
Yeah.
But it's not a very good strategy if you ask me. I'm not a fan of that one. Can we stop? Like,
As
please?
I've described it before, it's like an abusive relationship.
It is, and I don't think it's a good idea, but yeah. Lucy did mention in chat that it is partially part of the Tencent money, which that's fair. At the same time, it's like, God, can we please not like if we're able to do that, can we do that with like other like Connect novels in the future, like Kosai Toshi? That's not getting an English translation right away, is it? There's that.
Oh,
Can we
it's delayed.
can we have some? Yeah, we got delayed. Can we have a bit of like that for Prima Doll? Prima Doll still hasn't gotten any translations. Where's that? It's like that's one thing about Holy Undead. I'm like, why is insist on getting preferential treatment. But the other funny thing is, if you have been interested by Holy Undead from me talking about it right now, and you search it up on Steam, you might quickly realize it's not on Steam. So, not even, I'm pretty sure it's like not even a week after it launched, it immediately got taken off.
Yeah, goodbye.
Disappeared overnight. I'm pretty sure like no one talked about it, and we're just like, wait, what happened? I swear to God, there was a visual novel here like yesterday, and it turns out, yeah, it got taken off. Now, I'm not entirely 100% sure on why it got taken off. I think it has something to do with Steam being Steam, and Steam not letting people put things on the platform because they hate visual novels or something. But yeah, well, it both got better. So, Holy Undead, this random Connect novel, both got better preferential treatment than Key, but also got done way dirtier than Key. So, I guess that just balances out. I'm not sure how to feel about this.
I feel like we've seen something we weren't supposed to, and everyone who saw Holy Undead while it was still on there is gonna get a visit from some very shady people soon.
It never happens. The fabrication. But yeah, that was a thing that happened overnight. I can't make any comments on it. For all I know, it could be really good. I can't tell you. But yeah, I mean that was a thing that happened. It was really funny. But now we get into the actual key kinetic novels, because we have three we need to talk about. Three.
The number that comes after 2.
It's true. Counting with Scout. We're really good at it. So yeah, there are indeed 3 kinetic novels that we are currently expecting. There's Loopers Plus, Kosai Toshi, and Prima Doll. Now, I'll have to bite a bit of salt on this one, but I think our previous host predicted it like something as well. So let's talk about them in the order that I spoke of. We have to bite a bit of salt, because I remember at some point one of our previous hosts, I don't remember if it's Lucy or Hypa, predicted that Loopers Plus isn't ever going to get made because Ryukishi is too busy doing weird stuff. And
I remember Lucy talking about that.
Ryukishi announced a new manga series.
Okay, well,
by the way.
Yeah. Ryukishi announced a new manga series. I don't know what he's doing. He's also working on Kaleidoscope 2. Why? I don't know. I don't really have any direct comment on that, but no worries, because if you think that he might be prioritizing Loopers over that, don't worry. We are still getting Loopers Plus. They are working on it. They have just disclosed that we are getting a delay until 2025 later, and you know what? This is key. I think we kind of just have to expect that at this point. Because let's be real, I don't remember the last time a keyword hasn't been delayed, aside from like maybe Lunaria. I think that was the only one, was it?
I do not recall.
Oh no.
I'm a pretty new person here, so.
Planet and Lunaria. Okay.
This is where we.
So yeah, I mean, Key works getting a delay. That's not new. That's
questions like that's gonna make us really miss the researched, prepared methods of Lucci and Hypa. That's
true. But on the bright side, we do have character art for Kuro and Kai. Now, these are the characters that were in the original Loopers, but they played very minor roles. So, from what we are aware of in Loopers Plus, they will get new content that focuses on them. So, yeah,
I think we were able to see them when they shown an art of Loopers.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to dig back the art on me, because I don't have all the art on hand right now. I should have probably had that.
Wait,
but yeah, we had Kuro and Kai revealed on the stream. Their character designs were revealed. I mean, we had the visual before, but we had their actual in-game sprites dropped on the stream. So we got full body images of them now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, nice.
They both got their actual sprites revealed. So that's a thing. That's as much as we got.
I mean, we've seen their design exactly a year ago, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen their design. It's just we've never seen their sprites, but now we have.
Ah,
Other people enjoy the celebration.
I haven't
I'm
seen it.
I enjoy the
Does someone
preparation.
have it?
It's more.
The thing is, I'm trying to take a screenshot of it, but Canada's being a head and putting ads on the video, so yeah. Anyway, here, so yeah, we've got their sprites revealed. This is how they're gonna look in game, and that's it. So
Holy damn!
yeah, Loopers Plus is in production. Don't worry, they're making it work. It's just gonna be a bit of a while until it comes out, but it will come out.
And don't worry, he's still not working on Syconia.
I know they're getting a design. They deserve it.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy that we got the designs at least. So with Loopers Plus on the back burner, the next thing we're getting is also surprisingly Prima Doll. So this is the one where I have to eat a bit of salt because I was a bit worried that Prima Doll was going to be cancelled.
Yeah, just like a few weeks ago when we did the test, you were like hoping, you know, but not desperately that.
So I made a small podcast with Scout in our own time to try and test things out, and I said a million times on that podcast that I really hoped Prima Doll was not gonna be cancelled, and while that podcast might be released after this one, that comment has aged extremely poorly because yes, Prima Doll is being made. There's nothing to worry about. It's just taking a bit of time, and just like Loopers Plus, it has been delayed because they want to ensure its quality. And again, it's key. We kind of just have to expect the delays at this point. This is absolutely nothing new. However, we've gotten a bit more information with the Prima Doll Kinetic that, compared to Loopers Plus, in that we actually have our focus characters this time, and predictably, considering we don't have any more Prima Doll characters, the next Prima Doll Kinetics are going to be focused on Gekka and Retzel. So
Gekko and Pretzel.
Yeah, our beloved Pretzel. We love her. But yeah, we got the Oomphies for the next Kinetic. And I don't remember if they're gonna share a story like how Karasuba and Haizakura had like a split story, or if they're gonna be together in a single story. I don't remember. I don't know if that's been clarified. But the next Kinetic novel will be focusing on the remaining two dolls before I think the fourth one is going to be the big one that involves all of them. So if you're a fan of Retzel and Gekka, you have a bit of things to look forward to. Now, personally, I am hugely expecting the most from Retzel's, because I feel like out of all of the girls in Prima Doll, Retzel kind of got the short end of the stick, relatively speaking. Because I feel like everyone in the anime had either a lot of screen time or one really, really incredible episode like Hokiboshi. Hokiboshi didn't get a bunch of screen time in the anime, but her episode was one of the best ones. Retzel, I feel like, just was out of the bunch, got the least focus and the least of an impactful story in her own in the IP. So I'm just hoping that this Connect novel does what it did for Karasuba and just give her her own story to really home in the key feels. Yeah.
Hopefully, and hopefully one of these days us English readers are actually going to get to experience them.
Yeah, that is the other elephant in the room that I kind of talked about later, is that even now, none of the Kinetic novels are translated. I'm not sure why. The only Prima Doll content we have for the English-speaking community is the anime that aired. And while the anime is great, it's far from the whole story. And I really, really want people to be able to read the Hokiboshi story because it's really, really good.
It's from what I've gathered, Prima Doll seems like one of the most, if not the most ambitious projects Key has launched, really.
Ambitious, I don't know if I'd say ambitious, but it's definitely experimental. They're trying to do a multimedia project. But,
multimedia project that's going a bit farther than Angel Beats managed to, I guess.
This is very much true. Like, at least we've confirmed at this point is that they're actually making the third kinetic novel project. And from what I'm able to see, at least based on what Sepp has told me, is that the kinetic novels, especially Hokiboshi's one, are pretty well loved from the people who do read them. So it's mainly just like a quality over quantity thing. It's like, well, not a lot of people have read them. The people that have read them really enjoyed them. So I really hope that we get the Prima Doll content in the English-speaking sphere soon enough, because I really, really want to rant about Hokiboshi because I really, really love her, and no one else has read her story except the other two hosts that aren't here with me right now. So, yeah.
You just got to rant about Hokiboshi to me, and now you're wanting even more. You gotta have patience.
So much, and I want to talk about her story in detail, but I can't because no one's read it. But one day, I just hope these translations will come in, and I completely got sidetracked, but for the upcoming Prima Doll kinetic novel, we're not only getting the story focused on Retzel and Gekka, but we're also getting a brand new character for this kinetic novel as well. So let me just post her design in chat real quick. So this is actually an entirely new character called Kurokobai, which basically means black plum. And she's going to be a new character. We don't know anything about her, but she's
Other than
there.
that, she's small.
She's very small, and she's very cute, and I really like
Oh my
her
god,
design.
she's very cute.
Yeah, I want to carry her. I want her to feed her biscuits. It's gonna be so adorable. But yeah, Kurokobai. She's gonna be a new character. We don't know anything about her, but she's gonna be involved with the Retzel and Gekka story in some way, and hopefully we're gonna see the whole story as it plays along. And personally, I'm always open for more robot girls in my life. So bring him to me. Lucy says automata dolls are canonically very heavy. Well, I will simply get over the barrier. I will simply do it. But yeah, that's Prima Dolls content. We have more than 2 character designs, and we have a new character, so that's exciting. And for the last Connect novel, we also have the one we have to talk the most about, Kosai Toshi. Now, Kosai Toshi...
All I'm gonna say right now is I don't really have anything to say about this, so I'm gonna get up for a bit.
That's fair. I mean, Kosai Toshi is currently the big kinetic that I feel like a lot of people have been looking forward to, because for the Lunaria fans, if you don't already know, this is gonna be Matsuyama's next big work, and I don't want to overhype things too much, but at least in my personal things, I have a feeling that this can potentially even surpass Lunaria, just based on the production alone, because oh my god, the amount of things that they've revealed from the art and the backgrounds, absolutely stunning. I'm gonna post the link here instead of any individual CGs, because during the stream we basically just got a bunch of confirmation and a bunch of character details of the entire world so far. We got a lot of CGs, and they're just all on the site. So when you have time, give the kinetic novel webpage a bit of a look through, because we got a lot of details regarding the CGs, the backgrounds, location, and god, K has absolutely brought in their A game, and it is so full of life. It is such a Matsuyama type of world that's like Lunaria, but with even higher production than before. And I'm personally completely in love with the character designs and the coloring, especially the not Punisher that the main character is holding. Everything about this production, for me at least, is so promising, and I just can't wait for everything to come out, because everything about Kosai Toshi feels like it's gonna be, to me, Lunaria 2.0, and I already love Lunaria, so I'm just looking forward to this, because I really trust Matsuyama as a writer. This is a writer that I feel like is really underrated, because he's only had Lunaria so far. But at the same time, Lunaria is a story that, as if you
And
listen to our
HBR.
previous podcasts, he also did HBR. That's correct. He did an event in the JP
Yeah.
version, but I'm mainly talking about the visual novel front right now directly, and like it is a story that really understands Key, and I think he's a very underappreciated writer, so I can't wait to see what he makes next. I think the character designs on this Connect novel are absolutely gorgeous. We got the K, who is an absolutely fantastic artist. They did the art for Vocaloid. If you are familiar with like Japanese otaku media
I
from
mean, which
past
Vocaloid? There's a lot of them with a
the
lot of
main
different
ones.
artists.
This is the
Oh.
person who made Hatsune Miku. So
Oh,
we
I
got
see.
we got a massive name on this, and the character designs based on what we were able to see on the website are absolutely gorgeous. We got some extra character designs, such as a new boy who's like sort of like a hacker gamer, and I like all of the designs. Like there's so many different like. There's a lot of twinks. There's a lot of twinks in here. I've noticed. He really likes.
He
his
might be
twinks.
going for a different audience with this one.
The main character's a twink. Both the other males are in this game are also twinks. There's a lot of twinks, but I'm down for like I'm down for a new Connect novel, especially one that's done by Matsuyama, and the absolute gorgeousness of all the backgrounds just inspires so much faith with me. I feel like this, like, Matsuyama really excels in stories that have, like, sort of futuristic tones that are almost, like, utopian in a kind of way. A twink, yeah. In a more, Lucy says fashionable gay dude. I would describe them more as, like, a very skinny person. Skinny person, but they're good looking. Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing that stuck out a lot to me with Lunaria, how bright and optimistic its setting felt.
It looks very pretty. Like
Lunaria
seriously.
is a very bright and alive futuristic world, and
all those like establishing shots of like the setting were like, oh, I could not get enough of them.
Yeah, and Kosai Toshi feels like it's gonna be the exact same way, but even more intense. And I'm just looking forward to it because, again, I really trust Matsuyama as a writer. Like the city itself feels so intense and so full of life, and because like I come from Hong Kong, which has a very active city section as well, and this to me just vibes like central Hong Kong in the middle of the night. Cause like you look at this and it's like, wow, this is literally just the Symphony of Nights. This is literally just the Symphony of Nights. So a bit of a Empy going a bit of a rant about his home country again. But every time in like at around like 8 o'clock during Central, we have this thing called the Symphony of Nights where the buildings in Central all just light up for a light show. And literally,
that is
it
gorgeous.
just vibes this. It vibes exactly like this. So yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's so pretty, and I'm just absolutely gorgeous. Irish is probably based on Singapore, but like even then, Hong Kong, as a local citizen, I feel the vibes from it so much, and I'm looking forward to it. I love the way this Connect novel looks, and I love the things that Matsuyama makes. So I have full trust. That's all I can really say for now. I don't know if we have any extra plot things, and I feel like all of that stuff, like discussing the characters and the plot, is probably best saved for a dedicated podcast episode on Kosai Toshi once the date approaches. But for the time being, we got a bunch of updates. You might want to check the site out. We got a bunch of things, and
there are a bunch of characters.
It's super promising. I can't wait for it. All right.
Also, let's hope Matsuyama finds another success with this one.
God, yeah.
Because
I
Lunaria was so
Matsuyama
good.
to get some recognition, man. He's such a good writer, and he deserves so much more attention than he gets.
Yeah. We need these new writers for Key in the future.
Yeah, I love
it's going to be very important.
Yeah, I love seeing the new blood, and like when they have this much promise, like Lunaria was such a big hit. I really hope that we just get more and more support for them. But yeah, that's all the kinetic novel stuff. We got a lot of good things coming up, and while all of them have been delayed, I can wait. Like, as a famous guy once said, a rush games comes out or something, but a delayed game eventually becomes great. And I completely butchered that because I can't speak the English language and I'm a bit tired. But I can wait, especially when it comes to Key. I'd rather they deliver a banger final product.
Yeah, always. If
And
it's
now-
necessary, always do the delay.
Yeah. And now we come to probably the biggest things from this
Yeah,
whole
so-
announcement.
Yeah, the elephants in the room. So this was something that actually got dropped in before the Key streams. It was something that they teased on their Twitter with a still image. But Summer Pockets anime. We got some pretty massive updates regarding it, including the anime opening for the first season. And I will say, as someone who was a bit like not super hot on the character designs, I'm sold on them now. Seeing them in motion, oh boy, this opening, in my opinion, is absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
Absolutely adorable. I'm so excited for her. Please.
Dude, one thing that I've always mentioned with Summer Pockets is one thing that the anime has to capture right is the vibes of the bright summer of Tori Shirojima with its colors, its vibrancy, its beauty with the ocean, the lush grass, and based on the opening, the animators at Feel have absolutely delivered. The show handles lighting so like flashingly well, and it's like when
Yeah.
it's what like from everything from the like all the colors bang on, they're spot on exactly with how they are in the visual novel. We have the opening with Umi walking through the beach, and that was a gorgeous sequence unto itself. And then we just have the quick shots of all the heroines, and it's like the way the lights flare is just so Summer Pockets, and they captured that so well. And of course, like the other thing I just completely forgot to mention is that we got Alcatel back. We got Alcatel back, and and it's such a great rendition of it. Like, yeah, it is the visual novel opening, but the opening animation fits it so well. The way it's directed, all of the characters, they're so full of life and so full of movement.
Yeah. So colorful. Also, there is someone who was not shown before.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
opening.
I'm gonna get to that. But the main things I really want to talk about is just like how we managed to get all the heroines, and let me just say, like, when they appear, it's critical hit after critical hit, bro. When Kamame was on the rails and she turns around and does the little smile, I was like, oh, it's like Bert.
Yeah, we have an emote of it now, and I am in love.
I was like, oh, critical hit.
Finally
critical
having the
hit.
fully voiced Hairi, so excited.
Dude, Hairi looks fantastic. Like, I
Yeah.
love, like, I don't know if this is gonna be an uncommon opinion, but I feel like Heidi specifically is actually a design I prefer, just because he's so cute. They made him so cute. He's so cute. It's like,
Damn.
bro, the one shot with Samugi with the candles, the lighting, and just the shot, the one that Nari posted earlier. Oh, so
Yeah,
pretty.
I already uploaded all the Tsumugi stuff.
It's
on
so
camera.
pretty. Aoi and Inari look great, but yeah, like I love seeing all of my bros again. Like Tenzen just doing his tennis moves and Ryoichi just stripping off. Like getting to see everyone just all in the gang all at once. It just made me feel okay. I have faith. I have so much faith in this adaptation. And when I say the entire gang, I mean the entire gang, because a lot of eagle-eye viewers noticed that in one of the shots where we had a large panning shot of the entire cast, we also noticed inside the store that there was a very specific red character in the background, just out of frame, just in blurred, but we all know There's only one red character in Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
That's right, everyone. Michiru is in Summer Pockets at last.
That's right, Aaron is back, baby. Nah, we got Shiki. Shiki is coming. So, to those who are worried that this anime isn't gonna adapt everything, don't, because they soft confirmed Shiki is gonna be here. We're not gonna get.
Let's fucking go. I love Shiki, bro.
Honestly, because that was the biggest thing a lot of people were really worried about when they first revealed the cast, because the way they advertised it is that they advertised it as the original main 4 heroines, but based on what we're able to see in this opening, they're very much trying to focus on everyone, like, being appeared. It's not just the first 4, we're also getting Miki, we're also getting Shizuku. They get a bunch of screen time in the opening. We got Kyoko, god bless, she's so gorgeous. But yeah, we even get Shiki.
She's so hot.
She's so hot. I'm sorry, but she's
Sorry,
so
which
hot.
one are you talking about?
Kyoko.
Yeah.
She's the MILF. The MILF.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, considering you said that right after mentioning Shiki.
I mean, Shiki is also hot, but in a different way. Like, literally, why are you wearing so many clothes in summer? Like, please take a layer off. I'm begging you. But yeah, like, I will say, I don't know if we're gonna get them all immediately, but they're definitely gonna acknowledge the fact that we have all these routes that we still need to talk about, and they have basically confirmed that they are not forgetting Shiki. They know she's important. Just wait a bit longer. So, regarding the anime, the main thing aside from the gorgeous opening is that this is gonna air on April for 2 cores. Now,
That's not seasonal at all, but at least it'll be airing during summer eventually.
Actually, it will be seasonal, because while it will be airing in April, it's airing for 2 cores. Now,
I meant like seasonally fitting.
not right away, but it
Yeah.
will eventually be, because
Yeah.
the way the anime has to air is that it has to air on a weekly basis. So while it starts on April, it will probably end like during the same time that Summer Pockets ends, which is the end of summer. So if anything, I think it's actually a perfect time to start the show airing if it's gonna be 2 cores. Now, the big elephant in the room question is how they're gonna handle all the routes, because Summer Pockets is massive. It is like a giant visual novel that's pretty much on the same size as Little Busters, including EX and Clannad. So even with 25 episodes, which is in the current industry already pretty hard to get, I don't know if it's gonna be enough. I have like suspicions that they are gonna be planning maybe like a season 3 or an OVA, but what I do think is that 24-26 may be a bit of a tight fit right off the bat.
I feel like they can pull another rewrite, but I really hope that's
I don't know if they're gonna do what they have to do with the rewrite. Again, we can't really talk much about spoiler stuff, and it's hard to talk about Summer Pockets in depth without knowing all of the details. But one thing I can say is I do expect some sort of extension of some kind. We have the opening, and while Shiki is there, she's not in the center stage, so I have some suspicion that we may have like an OVA or season 3, we don't know. But on the bright side, nothing else. It's not gonna be another Air anime. We can at least rest assured it's not gonna be Air.
Yeah. Here's my question to you, Empy, since you did read the original version of Summer Pockets, right?
Yes.
If they just covered like the base Summer Pockets content, like ignoring that you've read Reflection Blue and seen all that's there, would that still feel like reasonably complete by itself, or would it feel like there's something really big, like awkwardly missing there?
Here's the difficult thing that I feel like we have to, like, we've addressed this in a previous podcast with Summer Pockets, but Summer Pockets Original is quote-unquote complete. in a very broad sense. But we all thought it was until we read Reflection Blue. Once you read Reflection Blue and see the other routes, you realize, wait a minute, this isn't complete at all. So, like, if you ask me, can you enjoy Summer Pockets on its own? Yes, you can. Otherwise, they wouldn't release it that way. Will you get the full experience? No, you won't. You need Reflection Blue. Everything is connected.
I'm thinking, like, considering, this adaptation is going to probably appeal to a whole different audience the most, just inherently, if they can at least, like, fake a complete story, like, enough to keep people interested, that might be enough, just for, like, the general audiences.
Perhaps, but at the same time, this is Key, and Key has... There are no newbies to the anime adaptation sphere.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert on this. That's just my thoughts, like, as an outsider on this.
That's fair. Like what Lucy said, excuse me, that was extremely rude of me. But like what Lucy said, essentially, the OG has a complete plot, but not a completely developed world. So that's essentially going to be the case with the anime as well. I do suspect that the first 2 cores will mainly be focusing on the first 4 routes, and then I suspect that we're gonna get what I'm gonna call, for the time being, Summer Pockets Reflection Blue anime, and that's gonna be season 3 with extra content, and hopefully, I may be coping really hard on this, but hopefully we'll get 50 episodes. I highly doubt we will, but I hope we do.
I mean, I'll take more, because the fact that, a visual novel anime adaptation is happening at all in, like, this year is huge. Like, this just doesn't happen
Summer
anymore.
Pockets deserve it.
Yeah, Summer Pockets absolutely deserves it, and, like, the Key staff is working on this project directly, and they have expressed that they realize that this adaptation has been super hyped up, and that they've realized that their fans have been waiting a very, very long time for it. And they also realize that Key has a very large track record of anime that they need to live up to, so they're gonna be working their hardest. The final product we can only judge once it's out, so we will probably be doing more podcasts on that once the episodes start dropping. We'll figure it out as we go along. But what I will say is, if nothing else, I am a lot more at ease knowing that the staff on this are aware of the difficulties of adapting Summer Pockets, and that this opening has shown me that at least the studio behind it is doing their best. This is like the animation is absolutely gorgeous and full of life, and if nothing else, Hyri's little run is just... It's not something that I would expect from a modern anime studio. You won't see him doing something... Like, you won't see a lot of studios doing, like, subtle movements, like tripping and falling. But Hyri is just full of life, and... God, can I just say, that entire shot with Shiroha at the ending with Hyri...
Yeah, peak.
I think I fall in love all over again, man. If you don't remember, Shiroha is, like, one of my top key waifus, and, yeah, that's aged like wine. She's flawless, guys. I don't know what to say. She's the perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna be feasting once this starts airing.
Bro, this opening is the same. I'm pretty sure Heidi's Seiyu is the same as his Reflection Blue Seiyu, but
That's good.
Yeah, his character design is a lot cuter this time. Like he's so freaking adorable. I don't know how else I can say it. He's just freaking cute. Like, that smile was almost as cute as Shiroha's smile. Almost. It's hard to match perfection, but...
So they're turning him into the next Riki.
Kinda, yeah. Like, he kind of vibes that, like, adorableness that Riki had in his anime.
Hi,
But
Rico.
Yeah, but obviously Hyri is a lot more of a, let's say, standard main character, so who knows. I'm all for that pathway. I think it fits Hyri. I think it adds a lot of personality to him. I just can't wait for this anime. I have a lot of hopes. That opening has brought me a lot of faith, and the fact that the staff have constantly said that they're willing to bring Like they understand the stakes over here. I have faith. If nothing else, I know that the staff is doing their best, and if even their best is enough, then what else can you do? I'm just gonna have an enjoyable time, and I know that regardless of anything, one thing that is an absolute fact is that every episode I will see Shiroha's gorgeous face, and that will be enough. She's
I
so
mean,
perfect, guys.
I really expected a summer release, but April, it's like,
Well, like I said,
yeah, I'll take that actually. I mean, it's not close, but not far away either.
It's gonna
Like-
be going through summer and ending
Yeah.
around summer. It's ending
Yeah,
it'll end when summer ends. So if anything, I think it's a very fitting airing date. But yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
that
I'm
makes a
real
lot more sense.
I'm happy about the April release actually. So
I mean, less waiting time for me is better. I just
Yeah.
want soon. Yeah, another
Yeah.
thing that Summer Pocket is also getting is that along with the anime, they're also announcing a manga, and that's hype.
Oh.
So,
wait, really?
Yeah, they announced that there's also going to be a manga adaptation coming out soon. We don't have too many
Oh.
details, like not even the mangaka has been announced, but they're making it, so that's a
Oh.
thing.
Oh,
I'm
so
honestly
that's
more surprised it didn't
content.
happen already.
Yeah, I mean, same, but at the same time, if that means that if you want to bring Summer Pockets to your fellow manga readers, now you can. So, yay. More people
Everyone's-
that are
everyone's
Summer
gonna-
Pockets, the better.
Everyone's gonna be drawn into the circle. Every
Yes.
crowd.
Yes. The master plan. I can't wait for it. But yeah, that Summer Pockets coming out. I'm so hyped for it. And
I'm hyped too.
And I mean, if the big fans here are excited for it, I'll be excited too.
hey, if anything, I'm actually interested if you don't mind doing it. I want to know your experience as an anime only, because that's actually something you can do that none of us, like most of the people in Keyverse, like aren't able to do, is provide an anime only perspective. Because most of us have read it during the Reflection Blue.
But you really have to sacrifice the VN experience. So
Yeah, technically I could do that, but that's not something I prefer to.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, it's just an idea. Just an idea.
Yeah, it's possible. That's cool. Is what
I
I'll
mean,
say.
I mean, we can always look up the anime only's opinions.
I mean, those are
online
going to be 50-50 either way, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably be trying to drag a lot of my other anime fans into Summer Pockets once it starts airing as well. I've already started, and I think I've already gotten 2 people. So you know what?
You're on the warpath.
I'm already starting on my agenda. I've got to bring in as many people as I can. This is my mission. But yeah, Summer Pockets is alive again, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. Anyways, we have talked for about an hour at this point, and we're still not done.
Hour and a
Because-
half, even.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
An hour and a half, and
man.
we still have to talk about the biggest announcements, because the biggest thing that was announced during the key stream was that we've got a bunch of Anemoi stuff just all at once, and we just have to go through every single one because there's so much. There's just so much. I don't know if I can go into super big detail, but we do have to talk about all the content that we got because we got a lot. So, Anemoi is coming out as the next big key visual novel. We got a bunch of CGs, art, resources, backgrounds, new characters, new sprites, and they just dropped a lot of stuff all at once. So I'll just go through it one by one. The first thing I want to talk about is that in a similar way to what they did with One, like how Nexton handled the One remake, they have a lot of like illustrations of the heroines in like a background in the middle of a setting with just the most gorgeous like artwork of all time. I don't know if Nari, do you have those do you have those illustrations on hand, or am I gonna have to?
I already like forwarded them.
Okay.
Both
In that case, I'm just gonna dig with them real quick. So just bear with me for 1.5 seconds, because I
Also-
really want to share these because these
And,
illustrations are
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
gonna have
stunning.
something to say about all this Anemoi stuff, or at least Anemoi in general.
Also, shoutouts to Catbox for getting all
Yeah. So
these shots.
Chatbox basically like not like I straight up had to reach out to him like, hey bro, you basically logged the entire stream. Can I just get like a TLDR? He basically gave me an itinerary of everything that got announced. So thanks to Catbox for organizing like all like recording everything as the stream went along, because he basically took like screenshots of everything. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show.
At least efficient TLDR, but a very appreciated one.
Yeah. But yeah, the first thing they showed off were these illustrations of the heroines all in the setting of
And oh
Anemoi, with some
my.
of the most gorgeous art ever done by mankind.
The hero and Rika ones are like holy.
Bro, the Rika one, they brought like, are they bringing in back like Hisaya Sunsets? Cause god damn, like
It
I
is
said,
too pretty.
these are just like the one art that we got, and it's just as pretty. And if you remember, one's like artwork was done by Mocha, who is like background artist god. So
Yes, and
to
it
be able to
showed.
compare to Mocha is saying a lot.
Oh my god, the Speaker background. Holy, that
It's
is
so lush and so full of color.
Oh my god, Koyomi looks so clumsy. Basically what I needed.
I love the settings, because like even though it's all in like one place, is that every single illustration has their own unique color profile. We have Speaker with the greens and the blues. We have Aino's her name, yeah. Aino looks really gorgeous on the beach with is that like a make is that like it looks, I thought that was like a tent for a second, but that isn't. It looks like it's like floating on top of her head, and the sticks around her are kind of just like float. They look like flotsam. It's probably just junk, but at the same time, it is fitting. Like,
Is it a wing or something? I don't know.
I don't know what that is, but I
there's
assume
something
it's just,
towards the back that looks like it's holding the top part
I
up,
would
sort
assume
of.
it's junk. Yeah, it's just junk that has been like taped together and glued together to stay together. Like, shield
But
it
maybe
from
it makes
rain.
sense to her because she's the mechanic girl.
She is, yeah. She is the mechanic girl, so that does make sense that she's just able
Yeah,
to
let
like.
me. So
shimmy
speaking
something
on
together.
this, let me just like say what I wanted to say about SP's design, or no, Anemoi's designs. I love like these designs just like by themselves. I love how accessory heavy they are. Like that makes them stand out a lot compared to
Yeah.
how individualized like the base designs for key heroines can usually go, because there's no like uniform they all have.
Yeah.
And yeah, on that subject, the way like their occupations is literally reflected on their designs is like brilliant.
it's absolutely stunning.
And that extends to all these characters who are just introduced too. They all show it in different ways.
Yeah, so that is another thing we'll have to talk about later. We also got some like back like CGs for all the characters. Like they're mainly in sketch format, but we can expect once we get the full game for all these CGs to be fully colored in. And Speaker is on a horse.
And
I
we
was
got
just
the
like,
ducky
We got
umbrella.
horse.
that was just like a meme that we had.
We
like,
got Juan.
Like when everything got revealed, we got thighs, and horse.
Yeah. They really included Juan there.
They got a really big horse, but you know what? If the girl wants to ride a horse, I say let her ride the horse. And well, on the like that, I think one of the big things that we revealed from the background is that this area of Hokkaido is going to be really large. Like we can see a lot of the backgrounds. They are basically just spanning in like open roads and open plains, and we've gotten a look of like the cafe, which kind of vibes a bit of the Summer Pockets cafe. We got the observatory, and the road that I look at, like at the background, when I see that, the first thing I think of is a very like relatively old Ubisoft visual novel. I can't remember the name of it right off the back of my head that I read, but Natsusora Kanata. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Natsusora Kanata, in that the backgrounds have like a lot of open space and a lot of room to breathe in. And I really like the atmosphere in this because it feels freeing. It feels like there's nothing in my way. Yeah, Lucy just
It
mentioned
looks
that's like
refreshing, is what I'd say.
refreshing.
Like these look like places you could just like walk into and fall asleep.
Yeah, like it's just comforting. I love the grass, and it's just
The observatory is
it
like
feels
oh
clean. It feels
that
clean.
place is going to be like I can just tell there's going to be some incredible scenes in that observatory.
Mm-hmm.
It's already got that atmosphere to it.
Hey, if they can make it work with a planetarium, they can absolutely make it work with an observatory. I have full faith. But yeah, we have the backgrounds, we have CGs, we have characters, and we also have new characters that we've never seen before. And we've got a lot. Like they dropped a lot all at once. So I'm gonna have to go to my notes for all of their names because I have written all of their names. So
Mishizu is back, guys.
Sorry.
Mishizu is back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of do have a Mishizu at home character. And her name is Kurumi. That's the big thing I think a lot of people have been talking about is that, hey, this is literally just Mishizu but Gyaru. But yeah, her name is Kurumi Aragane. We don't, as far as I'm aware, we don't have any of the character details. We just have their names and their
Okay.
designs.
I think she is an archaeologist.
Yeah, she's an
fine.
archaeologist apparently. She's a drifter who's there for fossils apparently.
Yeah,
Which
totally
this
a
is one of the
Mishizu
things.
reference.
Like I think we have occupations for all of them, and
Right.
those are also reflected in their designs to varying degrees. But I'll let you finish them first to talk about that.
Yeah, that's fair. So, the first one that we got was a new petite girl. Her name is Atsuzaya Rui. I don't even know if I pronounce this right. From what I know, it says Atsuzaya Rui. She's small and she's adorable. Her hair is very fluffy and wavy, and if you like your oomphy characters, your lolly characters, you might enjoy her as well. We got, I think, Onomichi Fumiya. She's like the new One-san character, and I like her design a lot. She kind of vibes like sort of like the lazy One-san, and I really like those types of characters. So
Blondes.
she is blonde. I don't know.
I love
Again, I
blondes.
don't know about any of the details of characters yet. Please correct me after I'm done if we do know the characters. But yeah, we got a glasses girl. God bless.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
finally breaking through with that.
Finally, give
Yeah.
us more glasses, girls, please.
Yes, I love my glasses girls. Her name is Kao Suzura Kao Tsuzura, and she's got black hair. I appreciate that. We already talked about Kurumi. The next one is Chiharu. He's the quote-unquote bro character of Anemoi. Apparently, he's gonna be like the new male friend character. We got Komori Ken, who is the bartender. He's gonna be the person taking care of the
Bro,
bar.
he's hot as hell. What the hell?
He
Why?
is hot. He is hot. Like he has sort he's
He has style.
nah, I like his style. Like he feels like a very experienced man, and I'm looking forward to having
Yeah.
like I'm looking forward to having a drink in his bar. I'm of legal age.
Bartenders are cool.
They are cool. Maybe the characters in the visual novel won't be able to drink, but I certainly would love to have a drink from his bar. And then we have Hiromi, who is the doctor. Hiromi Sensei, I think would be how her name is called. But yeah, she's the doctor of the town. She is an old woman, and yeah, I mean, there's not much else I can say. I guess she's also a Mega girl in her own way. Oh yeah, we got our mascot. We got a new mascot. We have Sumire, and she's a penguin.
Yeah, but that's a key mascot, all right. It's hideous, and I don't like looking at it, but I know I'm going to have to. So good to see they've kept that.
I actually do really like the design. Like you said, it is hideous, but it is hideous. But that's part of the MO. But yeah, I'm actually very surprised that we managed to get a penguin in Japan. Are there penguins in Japan? I'm pretty sure there shouldn't be any. But what
How is
else
that
is new?
possible?
What else is new with these mascot characters? Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be any more ridiculous than the cotton ball alien we know as Potato.
Potato is the oddest dog out there. But yeah, like you said, Nari, you said that each of them has professions. I wouldn't be super in depth with them outside of like the bartender and the doctor. So please explain if you do know
Well,
them.
I do not know as well. Well, I only
Okay.
know
They've
the.
got descriptions on VNDB, so like
Already?
according to this, Kurumi is, as Nari said, an archaeologist.
Yeah,
Rui
I only knew
is-
that one.
Rui is the Neo Town Council chairman who is planning to become the president of the United States, apparently.
Please!
If
Please,
if
sorry.
if people are just like, I don't take responsibility. Well, I will take responsibility if people are just writing bullshit on here. But if they are, shame on them. But Suzura is a book lover who runs a library cafe inside of a abandoned train station.
Mm.
And Fumiya is working at the town hall and is responsible for the town in some capacity.
Well, there you go.
So these are, like with the main cast, these are all people with occupations and like goals and stuff.
I love the description of Call that says a book lover who knows nothing. She runs a library cafe and is a lot
Yes.
dumber than she looks. I'm like, okay, she's perfect.
She's the friend
Yeah,
of Hiro, who is apparently also weird. So that we've got to get a weird pairing for this.
Is she
one.
going to be the Mio successor? Who knows?
I mean, Mio is
But-
actually smart, so no, she's very much gonna be her own character at this point. But
And like I said, these occupations are reflected on the design. Rui is small and young looking because she's like, she's like an upstart. It seems like she's got big dreams, but she's not there yet. That's why it's the Neo Town Council.
yeah,
Fumiya is, the big sister looking type because she's already in that position of power. She's trying to fix the town's problems however she can. She's looking out after everyone. Suzura, I mean, that's obvious. She's got glasses. She looks stoic and professional, even though that will be disproved in many ways. And Kurumi, I think, is the most interesting one because, yeah, she's Gyaru. She stands out a lot, and that's because she's also an outsider. Like, she doesn't fit in with the rest because she's not with the rest. She's just a visitor, a drifter. And the way they can fit all of that in to these designs is just fascinating to me. There is so much effort put into this, and I love it.
yeah, I agree. Like these designs, they wear them on their sleeve, and I do look forward to them. One thing that they did announce that is partially the reason why we got so many characters is apparently they're planning on bringing back something that we haven't seen in Key for a very, very long time. And by a long time, I mean since Clan.
About 20 years.
About 20 years. We're bringing back sub-roots. Like, roots without a main heroine. Like, roots for characters that aren't gonna be, like, fully focused into the story, but still gonna be required to completion. That's what we're getting. So all of these side characters, about half of them might have their own roots, despite the fact they won't be heroines. We might be getting, like, minor roots for the archaeologist, the bookworm, like, all of them. So, I think what was described in the stream is that we're gonna get a Reiwa clan. I don't know, at least in terms of structure. Now, if that is the case, I remember that Hypa in one of the previous podcasts stated that we might get Anemoi after story based on the themes of moving on and the flow of time. If this is an indicator, Hypa might have just predicted the future again. Which has happened multiple times at this point. So
Like,
that's
the Clannad, reference does seem fitting, because just, like, thematically it almost seems like an evolution of, like, the initial parts of Clannad. Like, that was about people, in the last years of their young lives trying to find their places and stuff. But this is about a community where everyone does already have their place, more or less. Like, they have their occupations and they fit in them to the point it reflects on how they look. And that is, like, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
One thing I really want, like, I'm really hopeful for, is a lot of exploration about why these characters have, like, the occupations they do. Is it all gonna be a case of they have these occupations because they're like this? Or is it going to go, at least for some of them, in the way of they're like this because they have these occupations?
We'll just have to see. Like I said, I'm not very good on theories, not as much as the previous host, but what I am able to say is that I'm very, very interested in bringing back subroots, because this is, again, something we haven't seen in Key in a very, very long time. But at the same time, I feel like something like subroots is only something that can be really done with Key, because this is a Galgay brand that has made their name focus not just on romancing heroines, but also having these very character-based stories. Like we said, in Heaven Burns Red. Heaven Burns Red doesn't have any romance, at least. not any like romance-focused stories. Like, there's definitely a lot of subtext and implications there, but nothing official. Even though I wish there was. Despite that, we have very, very character-focused stories that hit hard even without it. We don't have to have immediate romance to tell a powerful story. Key proves that. So I feel like Anemoi bringing that back has a lot of potential, especially since after Clannad, we've learned a lot. We've had Little Busters, we've had Summer Pockets, we have Heaven Burns Red, like I said. Key has gotten a lot more experience in writing characters briefly while also delivering the powerful story. So I feel like with all the developments, especially with Key and their kinetic novels, the subroots might give us essentially full experiences even without the big heroine romances and things like that. We might be able to just see a brand new format for these games going forward. Potential is huge here.
Love that.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I'm really excited for Anemoi. I feel like there's a lot of things that they can do, and all of the new backgrounds, all of the new art, all of the new characters, they only serve to make me more excited, and Rika's really hot.
I love these designs, but I think, like, based on just those, Koyomi is the one I'm most interested in right now.
Let's go.
One of my rules of, like, design preferences is that every girl can look cuter with a nice hat, and she has one of the nicest hats.
I can't argue with that. I can't. That my best girl has a very big funny hat, and I love her.
Rika also has a very nice hat, though.
Hats are
She
cute.
does have a nice hat. I love
A lot of them have very nice headwear.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for
I'm
this
really
now.
excited for this. We're looking forward to this. But yeah, I think we've done it. We've caught up to half a year's worth of news in a single night.
Woo!
Nari mentioned that his voice, he's losing his voice, and my throat is parched. Yeah, it's been a wonderful night, but yeah, at this point, I think Key's in a very good place. I'm glad that we've gotten a bit of a break from like the constant news that we had from the 20th anniversary, but I do think after all this, we're in a very good state, and we're not nearly like getting little content, even though it's been a break year for Key. We're still getting a lot of hype, and we're still getting a lot of things to talk about, so I think we're in a good place. I'm excited for the future, and more than anything, I hope you're all gonna be here with us to experience it, because, like I said, it's a brand new arc for Key Radio Live, it's a brand new arc for Key as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a hype here, for sure.
Gonna be 2025 is gonna be insane. Like, on multiple ends for me. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for Summer Pockets anime. But yeah, I think that's it, and we'll wrap it here for tonight. So thank you so much to everyone who came. Thank you to Scout and Nari for coming in to co-host with me, because
Thank you
Of course.
for letting me be here.
I'm so happy that we got multiple people to come on, because like with this being the first episode of Key Radio Live talking about the news again, it's very comforting knowing that I have other people as well who are there's I love talking with all of you. I'm so happy I get to talk about this with everyone here because I love this community so much. And thank you so much for being there for me.
Of course, this was a lot of fun for me too, and thank you to everyone who stuck through this gigantic episode. Sorry that this.
I feel bad.
Yeah,
for you,
sorry
since I
to our
haven't-
editor for that.
I
Just
feel bad for him, but yeah, I think
everyone just. I think it's an unofficial rule that any episode I'm on is like disproportionately longer than it should be. So
I feel like that's gonna be the case anyway.
yes, I'm sorry to everyone, but hope you can enjoy it.
Yeah, but man,
It-
we've had a good night, so I think we can end it here. So I don't even
Yep.
remember how we end this, so I guess I'll just see you all on Key Radio Live next time. And I
We'll
hope to
see
all-
you very soon.
Bye. Bye.
I hope to see you all somewhere else on the internet. Take care.
See you guys.